everybody, happy Wednesday. It is Kevin and me, Robin, here with another super exciting pack.
Beaujolais pack.
Beaujolais.
Couldn't be any more excited than having a Beaujolais pack. I'm surprised it took us this long to do it. What were we thinking? I don't know. Maybe a new wine always gets us thinking about new stuff. So I am super excited to have Domaine de Colette in. First vintage ever, so new discovery for us. Found this guy last year. It took a little bit of time to finally get in. Just missed Christmas, of course, but that's okay. Gives you something fun and new to drink in the new year. Amazing wines, great price points. Jackie Gauthier is the winemaker, so it's an old family winery. This family's had it since the 50s. Pretty classic style Beaujolais, so really lots of fruit, but lots of spice in there too. I think the key to these guys is some really old vineyards.
Totally. I mean, a lot of their vines, like just their basic Beaujolais Village, is 45-year-old vines, right?
Yeah,
so,
which is pretty amazing when you think about it. That's where you start with almost 50-year-old vines. So it only gets better from there. And the basic one, which I think is this guy here, is that the Tradition? So they look very similar. We've got 4 wines from these guys. So the Tradition and Coteau de Colette. So what's the difference between these guys? Quiz time.
So kind of getting grapes throughout your kind of Beaujolais Village, your just sort of standard vineyard. This is going to be more vineyard specific, correct? And it's only a $2 difference.
I know. I mean, I love this wine, I have to say. Like, you know, I ordered the wine, so I ordered them both in, so obviously I like them both. But for $2 more, you get 80-year-old vines from a single site. But the wines are pretty different, right? Like, I do different things with them, and that's why I brought them both in. This, for me, is more just like drinking on its own. Little, pop it on a Friday night.
I took this one home to have with dinner with my mom.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't really get much of the bottle.
Oh,
it's
no,
pretty crushable.
Pretty good after that. This would be more a food wine for me. It's got a little more structure to it, a little more density, a little more minerality. So that's definitely like my Sunday night chicken dinner. Maybe even stand up to some duck or some, something a little more substantial.
That's another good point with Beaujolais, right? Is it's super food friendly. It can go with a ton of different stuff. You love roasted chicken. I love putting it with stuff like sausage. It's always like a really classic pairing for me.
Totally. Even this guy could go with salmon. Like it's not a super heavy wine. So then we thought we should do a Beaujolais pack, because while you should buy these guys, you should also get a few other ones to taste them beside. We even threw a little white in there.
I know.
Don't see a lot of Beaujolais white.
Beaujolais white, less than 1% of the region of Beaujolais is made into white wine, and they use Chardonnay.
Right. So it's basically like a Macon. In the old days, everyone wanted to call it Macon because people knew Macon better. Now the Beaujolais is getting a little more, time in the spotlight. People are putting the Beaujolais label on there. Usually you can choose. The vineyards overlap there, right? So the Beaujolais white, it's a nice little fresh Chardonnay. That one's got a little kind of creamy texture to it. A little more complexity than your average one, coming from Daniel Boulon, who's I think one of our best guys in Beaujolais for sure. What else did you throw in there?
So we've got one more Beaujolais Village, so you kind of get to taste through a few different styles. This is also first production ever for this producer, right?
Perimeter Goutte, first taste. That's pretty fun. A little more rustic style of Beaujolais. By that I mean there's a little more spice to it, a little bit of tannin in there. People always think of Beaujolais as just soft and easy drinking, but not always the case. You get some pretty big, full-bodied Beaujolais. I mean, it's cattle country out there, right? So really, mostly what people eat in Beaujolais is red meat. So there's a lot of bigger, spicier style Beaujolais that stands up to some good food.
Kind of like as you move into Morgon.
There you go, the Dupree. So that's not a light wine at all. Big, heavy, super spicy wine. Got a crazy review in the press I saw, 95 points. So I think that's a real amazing value in this lineup. And what's the 6-pack go for?
So the 6-pack goes for $149. So $150 for these 6 wines, I think, is a super good way to get to try all that Beaujolais has to offer. And we did include some handy dandy notes.
Oh, right on. Who wrote those? You?
Each bottle. You.
See, you can always give me the right wine notes when it's Beaujolais, right? Because I just love these wines so much. I really want to introduce people to them. If you've had a lot of Beaujolais, you probably want to order this because you know it's great value. If you haven't had a lot of Beaujolais, I would implore you to take a shot on this one. I guarantee you will not be disappointed with these wines. This is an awesome 6-pack, really cool stuff. Really, all these wines are interesting, individual styles, and just for $150, it's a banging deal. So take advantage of that one. It's up on the website now. So anything else this week, Robin?
that's about it. We're here. We're back to regular hours. Still offering our free delivery. So yeah, hop online, order one of these guys, and we'll bring it out to you along with your little tasting notes.
All right. Have a great week. Thanks.